Hi everybody, George back with another video. Today I'm going to feature Bill Nelson's band Bebop Deluxe, who recorded between 1973 and 78 and influenced a lot of bands, a lot of new wave bands, electronic bands. Although they never really hit the heights themselves, they were maybe just too clever for their own good, just didn't fall into the right niche, maybe weren't proggy enough, didn't do enough sort of catchy singles, although they did do some catchy music. And when I was a fan of Bebop Deluxe, my favourite bands round about that time would be Roxy Music, Queen, Sparks, Cockney Rebel, David Bowie, Alice Cooper. So it's in that sort of domain. Thin Lizzy was another favourite band of mine round about that time. So Bill Nelson was from Wakefield in Yorkshire, and played in various bands locally and recorded at the Holy Ground with some of them just basically demos and putting out things. So Bill in 1971 formed his own record label, which only lasted I think one album and one single, and it was he released the album called Northern Dream, and it was financed by the Record Bar, pretty cheaply made, and it was financed by the Record Bar in Wakefield. That's the label, Smile label, and it's very much Bill acoustically, Richard Brown on drums, a couple of other guys add a couple of things, but it's basically Bill Nelson, all done by Bill Nelson. And John Peel, I think Bill sent John Peel an album, and I believe he played the whole album on the radio. I don't know what station John Peel was within, maybe Radio Caroline. Can't remember when he went to Radio 1. So Bill was quite pally with John Peel all through the years, and he helped promote him. So EMI got to listen to this and were quite interested. But before then, Bill formed the band Bebop Deluxe in 1973. They released, again on the Smile Records, single Teenage Archangel, backed on the B-side by Jet Set Dawn, which would eventually appear, well, on their next album, first album. So this is really limited qualities for the local fans. But it brought Bill to the attention of was it Phillips? He done a recording session for, but anyway, he signed for EMI, signed them up, and they recorded and released his first album, Axe Victim. This would be 1974 on the Harvest label. 4 in the band, rhythm guitarist. That's the 4 boys there. And there was one single from this album called Jet Silver and the Dolls of Venus. Now, Harvest wanted to release the only song that Bill recorded, I think, in his whole career, more or less, apart from some funny stuff on his own LPs, was a song by one of the other members of the band called Rocking Cathedrals, which Brian from, what band's he in? Stray Cats. I think recorded, definitely played it live, you can see on YouTube. But anyway, Bill was having nothing, he wasn't having the rhythm guitarist's track as a single. And Jet Silver and the Dolls of Venus was released as a single, backed by the track Third Floor Heaven. None hit the charts, I don't think. In the UK, if you didn't get on Radio 1, really, very hard to make it. So that was the first album anyway. Quite proggy in a way. Prog rock, light rock. Good album, good start. Oh, and it has the haunting track on it, Adventures in a Yorkshire Landscape, which he later recorded on a live album. Good stuff. So EMI weren't really happy with his backing band or the other members in Bebop, so Bill split the band. He got two guys in from Cockney Rebel and done a bit touring, and that didn't really work. And recorded this single. Don't know if the Cockney Rebel guys were on this. I don't think they were. I think so. That Bill went to a three-piece band. Just lead guitar Bill, bass guitar by Charlie Tuhami, and Simon Fox on drums. And this was produced by Nick Hobbs. Between the Worlds. And the B-side was Lights. And this was withdrawn from release. This is a promo copy because they got Roy Thomas Baker on board to produce probably their best album. I think Roy Thomas Baker was doing Queen at the time, and they recorded Futurama with him, so a really big sound, really powerful three-piece outfit on this. And it produced the single Maid in Heaven, again didn't chart. B-side was Lights, again used from Between the Worlds. One of my favourite Bebop tracks is on this, called Jean Cocteau, which I generally use as a demo disc when I'm doing any hi-fi checking out. Great album, Futurama. Now, next album, so that was 1975, early 1976. They bring on board Andrew Clark, the keyboard player, to play keyboards, and released this album, Sunburst Finish. And finally they had a hit single from this called Ships in the Night, which reached the top 20. Good album. Maybe a couple of fillers, I would say, almost, but mostly a great album. Wee touches of the Doors, and Bill was always a big Jimi Hendrix fan, so there's shades and touches of different stuff. Again, quite poppy because they had their hit single. EMI wanted a hit single, and he wrote it, and they had a hit single. So, enter the charts. So they had two studio albums in 1976, and this was later on. It was called Modern Music. And Bebop take another twist and do a wee bit of a concept album again. This is called Modern Music. Did I say that? Don't know. And this had the hit single, the single Kiss of Light, which brushed the charts, I guess. But the B-side is really good on this because it's called the Modern Music Suite, and it's made up of small little tracks that lead into each other. So a really good album. Not appreciated at the time, unfortunately, but appreciated by musicians. So 1977, they released the Hot Valves EP, and this is a track from each of their first 4 LPs. The main track being Maid in Heaven, another vain attempt at the charts. And the funny thing was, Pan's People didn't get Bebop Deluxe. I think they're maybe on tour at this time. I think I've seen them round about this time. They had Pan's People dancing to a real rocker, really, like, you know. Didn't look quite right. A great track though, Maid in Heaven. Which then led on to, same year, 1977, and they go out on tour and record their live album. And Bill was seemingly never really going to be a fan of live albums. Never really wanted to put on record, but anyway, he was persuaded to do it and release this Live in the Air Age. Great live album. I know, apart from one strange bit in it. So that's the band there. So it's an album and an EP. Always thought it was stupid. Why not just do a double album? So you jump from side 1 on the 12-inch, you jump to side 2 and 3 of the EP, which I never played. Oh, it's got great tracks on it. You just flip the album over and play side 4. That's Bebop on at the moment. So, Live in the Air Age was their biggest hit actually, it went to number 10 in the charts. So they're getting there. 77, punk era, 7-inch EP in, everybody was doing it, but that's what probably sold it. Great though, good album. So 78, we move on to the next Bebop Deluxe album. So Bebop go to the south of France to record, and they use the Rolling Stones mobile unit and record a bunch of songs, maybe enough for a double album really. At Harvest don't want a double album, for whatever reason. So this is the next album, 1978, and this is Bill changing again with the advent of punk and new wave and trying to move into different markets, I guess. And he was always changing and evolving anyway, Bill, doing something different. And this is Drastic Plastic. So they released a single called Japan to be trendy. It never appeared on this album. It actually appeared on the American version. So the they actually released 2 singles from this album, Panic in the World and this track here, Electrical Language.
I speak to you through electrical language. Sometimes you hear me when our frequencies meet. You can listen but you don't understand it. Turn up the rhythm and you pick up the beat.
electrical language.
Sometimes you hear me when our frequencies meet.
Never charted again, or very little. The singles certainly didn't chart, so what happened is Bill split the band, had enough, and that was basically 1978. Bill done a final tour, and the band moved on, split them, and he formed Bill Nelson's Red Noise, which became quite influential and a fantastic album. I've not shown it here because it's not Bebop Deluxe. And that was almost it. Some compilations I'll quickly show you. So AMI Harvest released this fairly quickly. Bebop Deluxe, the best of and the rest of. That's Bill, you can see Bill there with a video he would use behind him. And the rest of is the rest of the sessions from Drastic Plastic, the last album, and there's lots of fantastic tracks on that, including a couple of B-sides that never appeared on the previous albums. Good album, good one to pick up. Then I released another one, the singles A's and B's. 8 singles and 7 B-sides, as he used lights for Maid in Heaven, and cheap compilations. I mean, there's almost more compilations than albums, and this is called Bop to the Red Noise. So you get 2 tracks for Bill's next album, the Red Noise album, Sound and Sound, Don't Touch Me, I'm Electric, and For Young Moderns. There's basically, these compilations always play more or less the same track, and this is another one you can pick up. Pick up most of the albums fairly cheap, readily available. Made loads of albums then. Check YouTube, Maid in Heaven, Ships in the Night, Sister Seagull, great track. That's it about it, really. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you later. Bye now.